You don't know me. Have to make this quick. They might be monitoring. I did 2 weeks of software consult at Murkoff Psychiatric Systems facilities in Mount Massive. All sorts of NDAs I am very much breaking right now, but seriously, fuck those guys. Terrible things happening there. Don't understand it. Don't believe half the things I saw. Doctors talking about dream therapy going too deep, finding something that had been waiting for them in the mountain. People are being hurt and Murkoff is making money. It needs to be exposed.
Murkoff Psychiatric Systems, Project Walrider. Observing physician, Dr. Carl Houston, DBNR. Therapy status. Patient claims to have progressed to self-directed lucid dream states. Morphogenic engine activity observed at unprecedented scale. Continuing stage 4 hormone schedule. Diagnostics. Spirometry revealed no bronchial accumulation. Hematocrit centrifuge again failed to separate erythrocytes. Highly worrisome. MRI revealed a rhythmic REM-NREM cycle. Laughter in NREM state. Interview notes. Billy asked about the status of his mother's lawsuit against Murkoff and the asylum. This represents a catastrophic breach in security, despite Billy's claims that he discovered the truth in the blood dreams of Dr. Traeger. Note, the only Traeger on company records, one Richard Traeger, is an executive from MRD. All orderlies and security personnel must be questioned and video security improved to include analytical biometrics.
The Murkoff Corp., United States Office, warrant for seizure, case number 294758104. Affidavits having been made before the board of directors by Murkoff Hardline Security, who has reason to believe catastrophic security failure of psychiatric center with imminent danger of environment contamination. We are satisfied that the affidavits and testimony establish sufficient evidence to require urgent action on the part of MHS and grounds for the issuance of this warrant. You are hereby required to grant MHS full access to all facilities and surrender complete authority to its agents. By acceptance of this document, you and any surviving relative surrender all claims of litigation against the Murkoff Corporation or its subsidiaries for the actions of MHS or the circumstances which required their actions, regardless of responsibility.
Murkoff Psychiatric Systems, Project Walrider. Observing physician, Dr. Rudolf Wernick. Notation by Dr. Walsh. Therapy status. Morphogenic engine activity plateaued at roughly 2,000 ppm. Unsafe to progress beyond stage 3 hormone schedule. Diagnostics. Spirometry revealed light to medium bronchial accumulation. MRI scans consistent with patient's reported dreams. Interview notes. Walker was interviewed in restraints following his self-inflicted mutilations. Restraints have had to be altered to accommodate his enormous size. Extensive dermal eruptions as consistent with failed morphogenic engine cellular activity. He claims the skin ripped from his forehead allows for a truer way of seeing. Seems to have some boyhood experience with Totora lizards and their parietal eyes. He has expressed anxiety about his flesh, specifically around his lips and nose. Attending orderly should be advised to watch for further self-mutilation. The mental traumas he sustained while serving in Afghanistan seem to be retarding progressions of the ME process. His predominant fixation, amplified by therapy, is a manic exaggeration of military security protocol. A continuation of both chemical and physical restraints is highly recommended.
From Helen Granite. Subject, Project Walrider, on-site inspection. Dear Sirs, the full report pending, no immediate action is required on the part of the Murkoff Corporation. The profit potential of Project Walrider remains staggeringly high. The 4 fatalities contain enough ambiguous data to make any litigation, if evidence is correctly managed, impossible. Project Walrider remains a dangerous initiative, and there will almost certainly be further casualties. As with the others, however, family and government interest in the patients is so low as to make any chance of legal actions vanishingly unlikely. Violence among patients is increasing as the morphogenic engine therapy gets closer to producing working models, but a combination of physical and chemical restraints has proven sufficiently effective to assure continued control and profit. Respectfully, Helen Granite, Murkoff Legal Mitigation Department.
MK Ultra Program, CIA document number 190691, page 1, excerpt. On Wednesday, 10 February 1954, hypnotic experimentation and research work was continued in Building 13 of the Mount Massive Preserve in Colorado, using the following subjects. Material abridged. Number 1. A post-hypnotic of the night before, pointed finger, you will sleep, was enacted. Mrs. Jackson and Pierce immediately progressed to a deep hypnotic state with no further suggestion. Miss Pierce was then instructed, having previously expressed a fear of firearms in any fashion, that she would use every method at her disposal to awaken Miss Jackson, now in a deep hypnotic sleep. And failing this, she would pick up a nearby pistol and fire it at Miss Jackson. She was instructed that her rage would be so great that she would not hesitate to kill Jackson for failing to awaken. Number 2. Miss Pierce carried out these suggestions to the letter, including firing the unloaded pneumatic pistol gun at Jackson and then proceeding to fall into a deep sleep. After proper suggestions were made, both were awakened and expressed complete amnesia for the entire sequence. Miss Pierce was again handed the gun, which she refused, in an awakened state, to pick up or accept from the operator. She expressed absolute denial that the foregoing sequence had happened.
Subject, Patient Art Program, Patient Father Martin Archambaud. Helen, Dr. Zeichner gave me your info to contact regarding the cancellation of the arts program. My patient, Martin Archambaud, has made enormous strides in his therapy on account of his finger painting. Just in the week since canceling the arts program, his schizoaffective assertions of some higher calling have accelerated enormously. Please, just let the man finger paint. The few dollars you're saving on temper paint is more than swallowed by the cost of clozapine. I can't imagine the logic at play here unless Murkoff wants our patients to become more disengaged from reality. Please advise. Dr. Neil Wolfram.
Murkoff Corporation PG Maintenance Memo. Project Purge Gate Maintenance is crucial to Project Walrider security. Please refer to Murkoff Corporation Maintenance Manual, MMPSMM 180286, or seek guidance from Superior with the proper security clearance.
Please find attached a copy of the death certificate of Rudolph G. Vernick, Murkoff Psychiatric Systems subcontractor, number 148616. No surviving family. I hereby certify that I attended deceased from June 4th, 2003 to February 28th, 2009, that I saw him alive on February 27th, 2009, that death occurred on the date stated above at 4:11 a.m. The principal cause of death and related causes of importance were as follows: heart failure due to advanced age. This is to certify that this is a true and correct copy of the official record.
Obituary. Rudolph G. Vernick. Dr. Rudolph G. Vernick, age 90, passed away doing the work he loved on February 28, 2009. He was born in 1918 in Munich, Germany, and achieved fame in the mathematics and scientific communities for a paper written with early computing pioneer Alan Turing. After a cloudy history with the German war effort, he emigrated to the United States in 1949 with a visa from the State Department. Several decades of government research in Los Alamos led to New Mexico, where Dr. Vernick retired to pursue landscaping photography and care for his cats. He came to Colorado shortly after the turn of the millennium to pursue charitable work for the Murkoff Corporation. A statement from the company calls Dr. Vernick a true humanitarian with generous spirit. He leaves no survivors.
Found scrawled in pencil on the back of an admittance form. Handwriting matches samples from patient Father Martin Archambaud. This God is real. What we've mistaken so long for ghosts, spirits, madness, we were only willfully ignorant. The scales on Saul's eyes were fear, and when you see beyond it, you truly see. This is the gift of the Walrider, the gospel of sand. The greatest sin in the world is willful ignorance of God. to receive a revelation and not spread it to the waiting flock. This place. To stand in the way of salvation is a sin from which there is no punishment too great.
Already weak, cold. It's still bleeding, but it doesn't hurt anymore, and I almost have quiet. I can't hear the wall rider anymore. Maybe the therapy is wearing off. I can't remember the dreams. Said I could earn my release from this place by submitting to therapy. Lies. Of course they were lying. It was not therapy. We were sacrificed to conjure a demon. Please, let there be no dreams. The only hell...
Patient Status Report by Rick Traeger. This patient also, unfortunately, didn't make it. I tried my best, but I'm just a doctor, not a miracle worker. And I'm pretty new to this whole doctor thing, so I'm still working out all the kinks. Anywho, somebody's got to cut the fat from this Project Wallrider disaster. We've been bleeding money ever since this thing went tits up on account of that Billy kid. But I've managed to slim back personnel by more than 80 people, which means short-term savings in salary and long-term savings in pension and healthcare costs. And I've been figuring out a lot about biology. I was on the fence about it before, but now I can say with absolute certainty that a person can't live without his kidneys. Heh, you learn something new every day.
Subject, request for reassignment. To whom it may concern. This is my third asking for reassignment after 2 months without an answer. I don't want to work at Mount Massive anymore. I have been an orderly my entire adult life, but have never experienced such a consistent level of secrecy and disrespect. I even have suspicions that some of the patients may be being abused. I know personally 2 of them who have been moved to the basement ward and never returned. If I don't get an answer to this email, I will be forced to resign and may very well consider contacting the press. Thanks for your time. David Annapurna.
Mr. Walsh, please accept the immediate resignation of Orderly 531920, David Annapurna, and process him as a patient of Mount Massive to treat his persecutorial delusions. Treatment should continue until the time of his death. Thanks, buddy. Rick Traeger, Murkoff, R&D.
If you're seeing things, say something. There's no shame in psychopathologist proximity stress disorder, PPSD. Talk to your supervisor to get help from a Murkoff Success Counselor.
Subject Special Research, Bluebird. 1. General problem. For the past several months, Bluebird has been endeavoring to ascertain by research, study, instruction, and some practice what value, if any, can be derived from SI sleep induction and H hypnotic techniques when applied to war and specific agency problems. 3. Can we create by post-H control an action contrary to an individual's basic moral principles? 7. Can we guarantee total amnesia under any and all conditions? 8. Can we alter a person's personality? How long will it hold? 17. What are full details on a sleep-inducing machine?
I don't even know your name, but I've come to think of you as one of my blood, my Paul. I hope you don't mind. And I hope you don't indulge the vanity of self-pity, the fear that your suffering is more than others. We must all endure this, and you are nearly done. There's no way to heaven but by the cross, and every man needs another to help drive the nails in. I am here for you. I am waiting up ahead.
Brief introduction to Wallrider mythology for MRD support staff, the Murkoff Corporation. Note, this is for support and notational purposes only. Engage in no direct contact with patients during or after therapy. The Wallrider, also known as an Alp, or Mara, or Schrat, is a demonic creature of German origin that torments sleepers. They crouch on a sleeper's chest and crush the breath from him. The sleeper wakes terrified, paralyzed, and asphyxiating. The name Mara gives us the word nightmare. Sexual assaults by the demon are rare, but it has been known to drink the milk from breasts of sleeping women and blood from the nipples of sleeping men.
Project Paperclip, Joint Intelligence. Reference, Nazi War Crimes Disclosure Act. A. The first paperclip provides a means of obtaining services of foreign specialists for specific assignments within the technical services of the Department of Army, Navy, and Air Force. B. Project 63 is primarily a denial program, with utilization as a desirable feature. The aim of this program is to secure employment in the United States of certain preeminent German and Austrian specialists, thus denying their services to potential enemies.
Excerpt from the diary of Shirley Pierce, Mount Massive Mental Hospital patient 1952 to 1964. How can I not remember where the cuts are coming from? They hurt so deeply, even days later. Dr. Newhouse tells me that it's my fault. I'm subconsciously resisting the hypnotherapy. But I want so much to get better. I don't know how I could be doing this to myself. Dr. Newhouse says it's another condition of my bedroom-inspired hysteria. Poor Bruce, I make him suffer so. I've tried, subtly, to ask Mrs. Jackson if she's had similar issues with her husband, but she's loath to talk about it. Her husband, too, has found comfort in a younger woman. I know the doctors only mean well, and with the help of the government men who've joined the staff, I am in the very best hands possible. I should just take my pills and sleep. Hope for more pleasant dreams tonight.
Subject, patient William Hope. Hey, Cindy. Another interesting conversation with Billy this morning. He says he's been talking to Dr. Vernick again for his therapy in the White Place. I'm disturbed by the fact that his delusions have only gotten worse with medications, which isn't in the literature for benzodiazepine. In any case, his dead doctor friend is filling his head with German folklore. Apparently, the only thing that can kill the wall rider are vampiric butterflies vomited from a demon called Horersi. The butterflies suck the breath from people's lips and drink blood from their nipples. They can also take the form of emaciated upright pigs or sick dogs. So Billy's got that going for him. You'd mentioned Billy talking about his mother's tattoos before. Are any of them by chance tattoos of butterflies? Next time I get outside of the Murkoff firewall, I'm going to look online and see if there's any actual basis in German folklore, or if Billy's making this garbage up from whole cloth. Would love to compare notes sometime. Wouldn't mind doing it over a glass of wine. Gets lonely up here on 2.
Translated from German. Berlin, 6th of September 1938. Reichsleiter Lahner and Dr. Med Roge. I have pressing news concerning the ongoing work of Dr. Rudolf Vernick in his development of the morphogenic engine, expanding on theories developed during his brief but unfortunate relationship with A. Turing. If I had not witnessed it myself, I would not believe it had happened. But beyond even the promise in cellular regeneration and guided carcinogeneration, I believe Vernick's method has breached the spiritual realm. Something has crossed from the other side. I personally witnessed the appearance of an apparition, briefly but undeniably so. Please forward my note and invitation to witness further experiments to Dietrich Eckart. I do not doubt that the Führer himself may need be made aware of our discoveries. It is my opinion that Dr. Vernick's successes represent an enormous opportunity for our cause and the German people, and are obviously sufficient reasons to keep him out of any sort of culling program. Regards to your family. Signature illegible.
Subject, regarding flesh-eating bacteria. Wash those hands regularly. G. Willard wrote, necrotizing fasciitis? Really? I fucking quit.
I am an unworthy supplicant who can serve our Lord only by feeding our Lord. Please take me, Wall Rider. Let my shepherd's apostle see it and spread it with his lies for a greater truth. Your time upon the world has come. My flesh longs for your beautiful wraith. My blood is filled with you and waiting to be set free. This is my prayer. Write your gospel in my flesh.
From the personal records of Dr. Vernick. Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley, published anonymously in 1818. Chapter 23, excerpt. Man, I cried, how ignorant art thou in thy pride of wisdom! Cease, you know not what it is you say. I broke from the house angry and disturbed, and retired to meditate on some other mode of action.
Project Walrider, Postmortem Preparatory Report MM1300921. Form Note. All material herein to be transcribed and revised to fit legally binding requirements of Murkoff Corp. Records. See Form 4083. Author Jennifer Rowland. Notes. My 14th autopsy of a Walrider patient, showing no more signs of accepting the therapy than any of the others. There have been slight gains in cell migration and morphogenesis, including effects similar to human growth hormone, but nothing to suggest the stable creation of a sentient, independent swarm. So tired. Doubting my judgment. Will submit another request for leave. The psychological cost of using such far-gone and further provoked patients is more than I feel I can handle. May suggest hanging less hope on the far-flung theories of a senile Nazi and move towards using a simpler mechanical engine based on major sperm protein. Will definitely suggest harsher chemical restraints. Murkoff Security killed patient 921 after he overcame enough tranquilizers to put down a hockey team. I'm afraid the hormone therapy is interacting with our chemical restraints in a counterproductive manner.
Note to all personnel from Consultant MM08 Rudolf Vernick. Do not worship the swarm, nor allow the delusions of the patients to influence your beliefs. Any sentient being based on this technology will be so far superior to us that illusions of godliness will be reasonable. We have always looked into chaos and called it God. We now are blessed with sufficient power that such belief could destroy us. Do not be tempted. Remember that you are scientists.
Murkoff Psychiatric Systems Morphogenic Engine Chamber Maintenance Schedule. To avoid patient injury, the Morphogenic Engine Life Pod requires a daily inspection of all vital systems. Vital System 1, the enriched oxygenated perfluorocarbon from life support fluid reservoir, must be continually flushed and replaced through the course of the patient's treatment. Note that the OP also supplies anesthetics. Any interruption in supply will cause sufficient pain to the patient to potentially disrupt the experiment. Vital System 2. Electric supply is supplemented and insured by the sublab generator. Proper fueling and maintenance of the sublab generator should be confirmed hourly. Vital System 3. In the case of catastrophic loss of Vital Systems 1 and 2, the life pod failsafe will engage, maintaining localized minimum life support functions until technicians can arrive. Disabling failsafe will result in immediate patient termination. From the personal records of Dr. Vernick, Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, by Mary Shelley, published anonymously in 1818. Chapter 4 excerpt. Learn from me, if not by my precepts, at least by my example, how dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge, and how much happier that modest man than he who aspires to become greater than his nature allows.
Please find attached the permission to proceed form for patient William Hope of the Murkoff Charitable Psychiatry Program at Mount Massive Hospital in Colorado, USA. The form is standard and all relevant lines have been signed. It appears Billy is unaware of his mother's recent guided cardiac arrest. He is submitting to the experiment with the understanding, unfounded, of financial remuneration to his mother and a charitable contribution to her church. Vernick, having read the boy's dream reports, believes he has enormous therapeutic potential.
I start feeling sick just looking at this place. Mount Massive Asylum, shut down amid scandal and government secrecy in 1971, reopened by Murkoff Psychiatric Systems in 2009 under the guise of a charitable organization. Cell phone reception cut off abruptly a mile out, more like a jammer than lost signal. The Murkoff Corporation has a long track record of disguising profit as charity, but never on American soil. Whatever they thought they could get out of this place has to be big. Might finally be the story that breaks the bastards.
I'm inside. Bodies everywhere. Blood. Burn marks. Heads lined up like bottles behind a bar. Dead Murkoff scientists hung from the ceiling. Their badges say, Murkoff Advanced Research Systems. Murkoff's longtime MO has been to profit off the exploitation of supposed charity. Fuck the third world and bankroll another billion. How did Murkoff think they would make money off a building full of crazy people? There's some kind of tactical cop pinned like a pig on a spit. Tells me to get the fuck out and then dies. Would have been a good thing to hear when I could still leave the way I came.
A crowd of broken men watching a dead channel. They look like patients. They survived whatever happened here, but nobody's home.
I'm already beat all to hell, picking broken glass out of my scalp, couple of cracked ribs. Nearly killed by a deformed giant. Looks like somebody tried to fuck-start his head with a cheese grater. He throws me through a wall, knocks me unconscious. I wake up and some doughy old man with a face like an alcoholic kitty fiddler in a homemade priest outfit calls me his apostle. Not a job I asked for. There are words scrawled in blood everywhere. I'm getting an ugly feeling in my gut that the priest is writing them, and for my benefit.
The big fucker is stalking me. Found a patient file for Chris Walker, ex-military police, several tours in Afghanistan. A lot of the blood in this place is on his hands, but not all of it.
The priest, Father Martin, brought me here to show me something. Thinks I'm going to be a witness for whatever batshit crazy he's trying to sell me. This Dr. Vernick is at the center of whatever went wrong here, but he died more than 10 years ago. Rest in peace, says the blood on the wall.
Fuck this place. Seriously, just fuck this place. Dying keeps moving lower on the list of the worst things that could happen to me here.
I can't shake Chris Walker, the big ugly fucker who likes ripping off people's heads. I hear him muttering about security protocols, containment. What if he's not the problem? What if he's trying to fix it?
The word wall rider is all over this place. Murkoff was running an experiment here called Project Wall Rider, but the patients talk about the wall rider like it's a physical presence, a spirit or demon, something they found in the mountain. I'd chalk it up to a schizophrenic delusion, but I just saw something. Maybe. Maybe it was a glitch in the camera, or maybe this place is getting to me.
The patients know Dr. Vernick is dead. One asks me, what kind of experiments does a dead doctor perform on living patients? What is Project Wall Rider?
I thought the sewer couldn't smell any worse. Hundreds of bodies crammed into a room, thousands of flies. Is this the priest's way out?
The harder I try to escape, the further I get into this god-awful place. Like fighting a tar pit. They've been torturing people in the basement, and by method. Written on the wall, fingers first, then balls, then tongue. Somebody's managing the torture, instructing them.
Traeger. Sick fucker cut my fingers off. Has tortured and mangled dozens of patients. I watch him murder another one, nothing I can do about it. Talks like a white-collar business school douchebag. Probably has a set of golf clubs in the trunk of his Audi. I bet the rest of my fingers he was Murkoff brass before whatever's infected this place changed him. I want out of this place. I want my fucking fingers back. I want to see Traeger die.
How to make Traeger juice. Step 1, squeeze.
I'm not the only victim here, not by a long shot. I watch a man wait to burn to death, the most painful death imaginable, rather than stay in this place.
I've said it before, but fuck this place. I still got those fingers left. God help me. I think I've seen the Wall Rider. So much blood in the water I can smell it, like putting a penny in your mouth when you were a kid. The whispers are making more sense. I'm looking for static. It's like an itch.
The sound in the machine, like the sound in my head when the Wall Rider appeared. I blink and I see static, something else, something oily and dark descending behind my eyelids, watching me with organs I can't imagine. But the sound is coming from the machine, too. from inside the walls. I know that sound.
A dead body at the bottom of an elevator shaft, surrounded by food. He barricaded himself in someplace safe, someplace nobody could reach him. It didn't work. I recognize the handwriting. Father Martin killed a man here. Are the lies he's talking about all the files missing from these boxes? The facts? The records? They look like government agency material, at least 30 years old, probably older. I start thinking MK Ultra, CIA, mind control. The buzzing won't stop.
The man sounds like Dr. Strangelove's anemic brother. It's a 25-year-old audio recording, an interview with this Dr. Vernick. Los Alamos means government work. Vernick talks about spontaneous bleeding, tumors, psychosomatic reactions in sufficiently disturbed people. Seems to walk a line between science and Nazi mysticism. Only a test subject who had witnessed enough horror was capable of activating the engine. The morphogenic engine. The engine, the movie they're projecting, it gets in my head like a song you can't stop humming. I blink and see Rorschach tests that look like swarming insects and infected surgery wounds. The patients talk about using the engine to conjure the Walrider. It's the buzzing I hear in my bones.
The static again. A patient knelt in prayer. Maybe he bought Father Martin's line of bullshit. Maybe he hears what I hear, but more clearly. Maybe it's his way out of this place. The priest called it the Gospel of Sand.
I can't believe Father Martin one-upped Jesus Christ himself in shitty ways to die. And I don't believe I'm going to miss him. A way out. If he's telling the truth, now I've got a way out. And a story to tell. He wants me to spread his gospel? I'll tell the whole fucking world.
Fuck, 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 fuck. Whoever finds my corpse, trust no one and tell everyone. I am not crazy. I know, only crazy people say that. But I am as sane as this world allows, with a camera full of evidence. Don't call it a gospel. Call it a mockery of reason. Let the world know it is Murkoff's fault. Bury these bastards with my mutilated dead body.
This is the morphogenic engine. A few lines of mathematics, an algorithm. Reprogram us, turn us into nightmare factories. A few numbers on a dry erase board. Give me a hacksaw and a few hours alone with Dr. Vernick's corpse. I feel I owe him a debt.
This is the way you die. Ripped to pieces from the inside, watching your marrow scatter on a concrete wall. You've escaped one hell, Chris Walker. God help me, but I somehow hope you didn't find another.
The assembler, the feed chambers, the precursor molecules. Vague memories of nanotechnology articles I've read online, probably drunk, probably distracted, not nearly enough to know how to destroy it. But Billy is the center of it. Find him. Kill him. End this.
From Billy's patient reports, he ought to be 23 years old, but he looks like at least 50 years of rough road, pain scratched deep into what I can see. Killing you would be an act of kindness. This is Billy Hope's lungs, his liver, his life support. A machine the size of a football stadium to keep one lunatic alive. Fuck it all. Break it all. He has to die.
Billy is dead. The Walrider, the Swarm, whatever it is, unmade with him. Whether I escape or die here, I am free. So that wraps up the notes and the documents, and especially my Let's Play. Thank you for joining me in Father and Fun Let's Play Outlast. It's been a blast. I appreciate everyone who followed along, everyone who subscribed to my page, and especially the people on Something Awful who contributed to the thread. That would be SS Neoman, Stubblyhead, Bacter, D Scruffy1, Dead Meat 5150, Deadly Pudding, Gridlocked Trundle, Lizard Wizard, Kobold Ebooks, Captain Bravo, Wiggy Marie, Swickles, Almanor, Suture Self, Final Gamer, Professor Curly, Hopper UK, Evil Miera, Spooky Lizard, Myasis, Cowbox, who also gave me a lot of advice for my Let's Plays, and of course, a special thanks to Schecky, without which it would just be fun Let's Play Outlast. So I will see you soon in my next project, Hotline Miami 2, Wrong Number.